to Queensville to another part of this thing. This is quite a long video we're going to do, but we're going to carry on with this now. We're going to continue.
It's going to be worth it.
It's worth it for you guys. Don't forget, guys, there's a special video coming up in the next couple of days. And don't forget the Queensville event on the 24th, Queen's Day, on Ustream.tv. Go on your iPhone, get on your iPhone as well, because you'll be enjoying it as well. And also your iPad. Do tune for that day. Right, now back to Queen now. We're going to go back to the Vinals now. Original Vinals we're going to go to. You've also seen the original Chris's Queen version, Queen 2. And I have Queen 2 as well. Now, Mark's got a version of Queen 2, which is very unusual. Yeah. It's not the same one as this one. No, this is similar to my version, but it's in a sleeve I'll tell you about in a minute. Yeah, it's the same original double vinyl sleeve from Queen, which is there. You also know it's the same as that one, which is nice. And then, as I checked out today, this sleeve is kind of the same as what I have, which you obviously there. It's got Vinal there, and it's got obviously EMA 767, and that's not printed on mine. Neither is that printed on Chris's. I'm not printed on Chris's either. First time I've ever seen that one, ever on that thing. There's a corner one obviously as well. It's obviously got B-Film and Trident music on it as well, which is the same. And it says, which is very unusual on this version because on mine it doesn't have this on. It says inspired by a painting by Richard Dodd. So, the Queen logo on this is done. I can't really see on that. It's 1970. I might be able to click on the camera. 1970. Come on. No, I won't find that. It's 1970 something on it. I can't really see. I've got a magnifying glass for that. It's so small. Lyrics are the same, both on both sides. It's the vinyl. The vinyl is the same. Well, technically, it's pretty much the same pressings of everyone that I've seen. Day 1974. I've seen the original EMI logo, EMA 767, which is really unusual. Which is cool. And the other thing about it is it's just 4735 is the axis number. Inside is Blair's cut, which you can see on there. And then on the other side, you've got is nothing else on it apart from Blair's on it on the side there, which is Blair's cut, which is even the same. So it just really reads me around that the fact that this is probably a rarest item of the Queen lot we've had. As I say, there's not really anything I must say about it, the fact that the cut was a bit lighter than normal on that one, because it looks really sort of really just like scanning badly on it. But especially that part there where it says inspired by a painter Richard Dodd. Now my version, when I show you my version, it doesn't have that on mine at all. It's just different. It's just really different. It's just a different thing on it. But it's kind of interesting how they've done it that way from their side of it, which is pretty interesting. So that's Queen 2. Really interesting press on that one. Interesting indeed. So count it down if you can. Right, moving on to the next one. And it is here, Heart Attack. Yeah, this is the one that Mark wanted me to check out. Now apparently he's told me so many times on Skype, he says to me, this is the rarest one of the lot. It contains the longer intro of Brighton Rock on it. Apparently this is different. And the fact is, it sounds just really more longer, this version, than the other versions that I've been producing it. Now, Chris has got a version of this one he had, that he still has, and he's got the same one. What I'm mystified about is we get the sleeve, but then we get it chopped off on the side. And we get chopped off on the other side as well, on this thing. I don't know what, well, I haven't got a clue what them are. I don't know whether they're just like, especially done for the cuts or anything. I'm not really sure, because it looks really, 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 really weird. Lyrics are the same on both sides. When we get the other side though, calendar numbers there. EMC 3061. And for me, that tells me the fact that they've removed off Queen Productions image on that one as well. And this has got G and L on it as well, on the logo. Now, I'm very convinced this is similar to Chris's. Chris's is different. The sound quality is more louder, it's more enhanced. And it looks to me like this could be probably a version where they've managed to EMI pressings were probably at the time done that way. But this is pretty interesting as well. After first looking at this is more orange. The label's more orange on it. Looks more darker on it as well. That's what you do side one and side two. It looks more orange on it. It's so dark. Very, very dark. So I'm really thinking this could be probably a first pressing from EMI's thing. But the other thing about it is, as I'm looking at this now, there is micro numbers on it, but there's no authentication who did it for some reason. I'm not sure why. So the other thing about this one is Brighton Rock is longer. Brighton Rock is longer because apparently he says he's played this, and apparently Brighton Rock has got a longer intro, longer sound on it, and more thing on it as well. I've heard it. I've heard this one. It's exactly the same as Chris's version, longer intro. So I wonder if these versions that were brought out by the first ever presence from EMI were probably the ones that they were used and after that they cut them off the slightly edited a little bit on it as well. It's kind of interesting how this version is rare. This version is very, very, very rare indeed. It's more very, basically, it's not compressed or anything, but the grooves in it are so dark indeed on it. But it's an orange LP of that, which is very interesting indeed. And I can't get this back in the thing for some reason. Doesn't matter, I'll sort of later anyway. Shell attack anyway, that's the orange pressing of it from EMI. So, see that one later. Right, moving on to the next one. And, oh, it's my favourite album I love so much. Night of the Opera. Yeah, I've seen this so many times, Night of the Opera. I don't know how many times I've had they did my version, Chris's version, CD 93 issue, which was a lot of crap. And so, what makes this one special? Well, I'll tell you in a minute. Obviously, got the same embossed front on it, which is embossed there. And then you've got the inner track listing as well, with Trident on it as well. And see, Trident Studios again. Trident Audio by arrangement. So that's the front and back sleeve. Inner sleeve is interesting, not like mine. It's cut off the edge again. Cut. And then cut again. And straight on that side. So we've got two cuts there. And then we've got one straight on that side. Weird. Interesting. And this vinyl looks the same as mine. Looks the same as mine. It is actually the same. And it's got on there a 1975 Queen on it again, would you believe? And apparently Bohemian Rhapsody is much better actually. It's just more darker on this one. I can also tell that the fact is that this has been an original one this time, because I've obviously got the Blaze version of this one, but this is not the Blaze version. In fact, it's got Blaze on it there. You probably see from the camera. It's got Blaze on there anyway, inside the groove in it. You probably can't see. But it's got the little tiny little Blair did it. Little Blair. Oh, little friend. He basically did it from there. Little Blair. Okay. So as I say, I've seen this many times. As I say, it's a classic album a lot, but soundquality on this is much more louder and more better on it as well, I do have to say. So Night Opera, cut sleeve with two die cuts on there, which is really weird, but not worth checking out that. Check it out indeed. And then goes to the next one, which is the rarest one a lot actually, that people have wanted to buy for ages. And this is the imported version of A Night at the Opera that came out in France, I think it did. I think I'm right actually. No, it came out in Russia. This is the Russian version of it. Gary Taylor has actually got this on his channel, and if you go to his channel, more in-depth information. So I'll say in-depth information, not really much on there, mate. Sorry, but I will say from this point of view, this one we'll discuss right now. This is 1975. This just came up in thing itself. It's interesting how I've got the original same EMTC 103 on it, which is an interesting logo on that one as well, and the amazing back sleeve as well, which is really nice indeed. This is a single version. This is not a double. This is not a double version of it, and you can tell on there Night of the Opera Queen, and there's no indication. Oh, there it is. There EMTC 103. Well, that's able to take off the original one or the white one anyway from that time. So it kind of tells me that this is the rarest one of the lot. It's a single vinyl edition, which is so unusual. The vinyl inside it is very interesting. When I researched this, It's not produced by EMI. It isn't. It's produced by CBS. And the reason being, it's on Portrait Records in the USA. But it says here, and copyright information, if you read there, it says Portrait is a trademark of CBS Limited, made in Israel. I said it was Greek Israel, mate. It's Israel now. When I felt this for the first time, it's so heavy. It's kind of is. It's 25 grams at least. It's pretty
different mix.
Final. Is it
different entirely?
Ooh,
it's a lot like the recent mix of the 30th anniversary edition.
Yeah,
a lot like that.
This was produced. It's got a Yax number on it, which is 5603 on it, which is kind of interesting. The label looks really, really weird, but I don't understand how CBS and them come back together with EMI, but it's EMI and that together. That doesn't make any sense. That does. The thing about it is the Seaside Rendezvous a lot longer as well, isn't it? This is not more short. Right? But the vinyl looks more stretched out. It looks more wider than normal vinyls are. But it's a very unusual one that is to have night opera from that side and that side of it, which is really unusual. So if you're ever around the shop sometime, try and track that down. It's pretty interesting, that one. It's the rarest one of the lot. I've seen this many times as well. This is the rarest one of the lot. So you saw probably a lot of money for this one anyway. It's Queen Night of the Opera, imported version.
From Israel.
From Israel. All right, let's carry on. All right, carrying on the rest of the Queen Vinyl now. And now we're going on to another record. This is, when I looked at this one today, this is from Japan. This is a very nice Japan release of it. Now, I'm not sure. Apparently, it's got 2,000 yen on it, which is kind of a bit unusual. This is from Elektra, from Warner Brothers as well, incorporated, and it is the Japanese version of A Day at the Races. And I suppose I'll just show you this bit first. This is obviously 2,000 yen, Queen, and down here, Warner Brothers Records and Elektra Records as well, combined for the release of this one. I'm not sure. Has this been released? This one.
That's a 1987 release, I think. 1987, because it's got the Queen logo there, which makes it a 1987 release.
And you also can tell on the bottom, Elektra EMI label as well on it and stuff. Where did you get this from?
eBay.
Yeah. So whoever's
it did have a stick on.
This has got
barcode at the back.
This has got a limited edition number. I think this might be a limited edition number. I'm not sure, but it's 107227. Well, that's some limited edition number. I don't know, but it could be anyway. So, very carefully going to take this out of the sleeve. Let's see. It comes with the OB strip on it as well, which is on the vinyl itself. Open it up, and we've got some nice things in here actually, which is sweet indeed. First of all, we've got we've got here is a catalogue of the 1987 issues that have come out. The number is, by the way, is P6554E, which is authentic one from Warner Brothers. I've actually won a Pioneer Corporation printed in Japan. I'll show you that bit first. So there you go. It tells you exactly what that is. Interesting. This is a nice reproduction of it. It's beautiful indeed. It's also got here by arrangement by Trident Studio. Yeah, interesting. John Reed's name is on there, by the way, as well. His name is on that. No, Nelson's on that as well, which is cool. So, what do you get inside it? Well, some nice stuff indeed. You get a lovely Japan, produced this for the Japan album of it, which is the Japan Day at the Races, which is really, really sweet indeed. I don't know who that's supposed to be. It looks like Freddie Mercury, but to be honest with you, I don't think it is. It looks weird though. It's very unusual. And this is Warner Pioneer Corporation on it, it's of Japan, which is very nice indeed. I don't think Gary Taylor's got this on his channel. I don't think he has. It's got a nice reproduction of the vinyl in it as well, and also it's got a nice sleeve of Freddie and the boys in there as well, which is properly done, which is very nice indeed. And it's That's very nice to have. So now we come to the next bit, to the vinyl itself. Yeah. So I know the backside as well on that one. It doesn't have. At least it has got that stupid mousing on it again as well. Oh, what is that thing? What is this? What is this? No one knows what there is. Please tell me.
Gemma says it's a rabbit.
Tell me. It's a rabbit. Doesn't look like a rabbit to me. Looks like something else. There's a vinyl inside it. It's in this lovely clear shell in it, which is really nice indeed. And obviously, this is the USA Atlantic Records pressing part 1, which is nice. And there's part 1, and there's part 2, which is very sweet. This is something of a nice rare collectability one. This is actually now, this is 2,000 yen, pretty expensive. For some of the vinyls you buy now, for the new ones, they are very, very, very expensive to get, which is really, really sweet, really nice as well. So if you ever get a chance to get this version, like the Opera, pick up these sleeves because they're nice, sweet, and I think this is probably one of the nicest ones. This is the OBI strip. I would say just keep on collectability references of it and stuff. So there's the 1987 issue. Now, Day of the Races, beautiful. Before I continue, I just want to say this is not my mug, by the way, but Mark said we'll give you a Queen mug as you're staying here for a couple of days. So thank you. Right. So next, well, we've just done the Japanese version, and now we've got another version like the Day of the Races again for the second time.
Standard edition.
Standard edition. Technically, I'm not going to really discuss this because I've got the same anyway. So we'll move on from that one, I think, because I've got too many of those anyway. Right. So we'll not do that one because I've done that one already. But let's go on to 12 singles. Yes, Mercury's Time. Yes, with the what I'd say is never ever be released on DVD. Never ever seen the show. But this is nice to have the collectability issues of this on it. I have to say the soundtrack of Time. Buy the soundtrack version of it. That's definitely well one to get. So on this one, we've got Time, the extended version, which was included on the version of the solo collection. We've also got Time, it doesn't say what that version is, might be the 7-inch version. And Time instrumental version, which is nice, produced by Dave Clark and Freddie Mercury. Well, that is wrong, because apparently Dave Clark produced it. Freddie Mercury was not involved in that at all. That's his thing. This is an EMI, original EMI thing. For some reason, it looks to me like that's a bit like Dark Side of the Moon. Yeah. Maybe something like Dark Side of the Moon, isn't it? I think of it. This is the original EMI print of it, which is nice and sweet. Looks like the text is a bit like Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Bloody Moon. Well, it looks like to me.
Which I've got.
Which you've got. Weird. Very weird indeed. Nice, good condition, mint condition, really rare now. As I say, the extended version of it I like actually. It's so brilliant. If In My Defense was included on this from single, it would have been better for it. So what's the credits on here? World premiere at the Dominion Theatre, 1986, with the international cast headed by Cliff Richard and a unique portrayal of Akasha by Laurence Olivier. And it's a scene designed by Duentes. This is the EMI version, 12 EMI, which is a 5559, which is the rarest one of the lot, and it is really sweet. I thought this was released on CBS, but maybe I'm wrong. But this was EMI's nice, lovely one. That's cool. So Time by Freddie Mercury. It's a good song, awesome indeed. It wasn't put on the Soul Collection, which is nothing else more to say about it. Right, now other ones to check out are these ones, and this is going to be France imported version of News of the World. This is the Pathé Marconi one, and this is the double sleeve. When I open it up in a moment, double sleeve there. News of the World. This is the
Portuguese version.
Wrong information again. It's the EMI blah, 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 whatever it means anyway. There's another book there as well, which is different, and it is 380 blah, blah, whatever it means. They are being posted if you want to. Track distance fine. You've also got the print of this one as well inside it. It's nice. Yeah, you were saying?
Label's completely different.
Label's completely different on this, but apparently UK versions had cutouts on that one. This one doesn't have a cutout on it. Interesting, weird thing indeed. Yes, it's the same. Looks to be the same sort of sleeve from it. Same credits on it and stuff, which is right. There's no pasting on that either, which is thingy, but the label's different on this. Ooh, look. It's EMI's UK label they've used on this. Yeah. The vinyl looks more darker on this, and the label, it feels really weird, the label. I don't feel the back of it, by the way. It feels really weird. It's just been pressed on with some glue or something on it. But one side's more rough and one side's more smooth. Okie dokie. So there's Use the World. Very interesting how they've used the UK logo on that one and overpasted it with their track listing on it, which is interesting. And then we've got the other side of it, which is again overpasted again, and that's the same on there, which is very, very unusual. Yeah, I think that's also the first take on that one. So anyway, very, very interesting thing, this, credibility-wise. So this is obviously the Portuguese version of it. So if you ever get a chance to find out this version of it, check it out on Discogs if you can get it. But that's the one you will look out for. It's got that underneath it. See if it's on there. And that's a nice one, that. But no cut-out sleeve on that one, which is unusual. The UK ones do have cut-out sleeves in it. Use the World, Portuguese version, rare stuff. Very rare indeed. Very rare. Now go on the next one, right? Sticking with the same theme. Use the World again. And this is the Pathé Marconi one I was going to say. Yes, it is. This is the Pathé Marconi one. And there it is there. This is the France edition. This is the, again, this is the same sleeve as before. And the sleeve as well. And then you've got this bit here. Yeah, there you go. Oh, that's lovely, nicely printed on there, isn't it? Nice, well, nice job. So you would have thought it would be nice to stick it off. Now they've just pasted something over that for some reason, which is interesting. It's the same thing as before. It's also got this thing here, Office something on it, which is you can see there, Office. No, what it sees actually, Office France. That's what it says. Right. Vinyl inside. This is more cardboardy, this one. This is actually more light and pink than this one, actually. Again, another one I haven't told this one either. It's more redder, not more lighter as the other one is. Looks more really different, this one, actually. And the vinyl inside is the same print of this one that they've used, but what I've done is I've just basically used the printed logo on it, which is the EMI. Text is different on it, you can tell there. And then you've got the other side of the text on there, which is Use the World Pathé Marconi version of it. Matrix numbers just basically printed on. Two matrix numbers are printed on this actually. You've got M6321667, and then you've also got 60033B21B. This is kind of weird. Pathé Marconi, that one indeed, for the other side of it. So French version of Use the World Pathé Marconi. Rare that one, but for that it's pretty good. Like
Lovely
it.
sound.
Nice sound, that one. Moving on now to the rest of the Queen collection. We've now got to go on with the jazz album again. But this time we've got two different versions of this one. And Mark's probably not going to. Mark, you might get a little bit shocked when I tell you something about your version that you have. And you probably might realise what's happened to that version. I'll tell you later. This is the jazz album. I obviously have this album. I'm not going to really go through this again because obviously I've been through it so many times. And obviously, same in the sleeve. One thing I've got to tell Mark, that you probably didn't know, did you know that in here, in there,
was the original poster.
And it's been ripped off.
That's right.
But for this purpose, they've glued it on.
Yeah.
They've glued that bit on. Now what they've done is they've smeared, all this bit here is smeared off, and I can tell from inside there, that is out of the jacket of the original sleeve. For some purposes of some idiots, they haven't finished this off. we just looks like it's from the factory. We just say, oh, we'll just leave it off and just cover it off that side. Well, that's a bit misleading in a way. So the vinyl side of it, well, this is the one I've got basically. It's the same as what I've got really because you gave me it anyway. This one, it's like the same thing. I'm not going to go through it, but I'll tell you, yeah, slightly thinner vinyl on this one. Yeah, as you can tell by there. Yeah, very, very weird. And also it's got on here RTB 14 on this one. There's different numbers on these things for some reason. RTB 14, don't know what that means. And it was done at, oh, hang on, this was not done at Sterling Sound actually. I don't think it was. It was, oh yes, it was done at Sterling Sound. It was produced at Sterling Sound. RTB 14 on this one, very interesting. Handwritten number is 6E166B on it. Handwritten on that one for some bizarre reason. And on the other side, it's not handwritten on the other side. So one side's handwritten and one side's not handwritten on this. That's very unusual. Very unusual.
I think that's an 80s reissue.
It's a reissue.
Yeah, an 80s reissue.
It looks to me like the way they laminated it as well. It looks more clear on it as well, but it couldn't be because the main thing is when it says written and arranged exclusively for Queen, this sleeve looks like the original sleeve number up there because that's the same as what I've got. But whether the matrix on this is being produced for the 80s, whether it's been replaced with another version, probably might be. So what if the original's been damaged and they might replace that inside it as a mistake? So maybe a mistake on that one. So that's the Queen thing on it. So if you do realise next time, look out for ones that have not got these on because these are split. Obviously, this had the thing inside it on that one. So I thought I'd just bring that up because you didn't know that, did you?
No,
so that's good. But then going on to the next one, and this is another reissue we got from the Homer Records collection, and this is going to be...
No, it's a British reissue.
The British reissue.
Yep.
From, what did you say this was from again?
1998.
Reissue. The UK issue of this one. This has also got a number on here as well. Same number. 147120 barcode on it as well, which is interesting indeed. Which is nice. This has got the original insert on this as well, which is interesting. It's got the pink insert on this. Obviously, we're not allowed to show you that because it's YouTube's copyright issues. I will sort of say it isn't here, right? This folds out, but this, as you can probably tell, has been ripped off from certain sources a bit. So you can tell there, serrated edges on it, which is so unusual. Okay. So we can't really show you that part of it. But what we can show you is this version, which is squared off, nicely produced on it as well. Rough thing on it. So very different to the version I brought out on the main I brought out before. The vinyl side, the vinyl side is brand new. As you see, this is the new edition that came out. This was actually I think this was to commemorate the fact that we're bringing Greatest 3 out at the time. The label's more thicker, more heavier. The print on it says Sterling Sound in Yaks 5551. And it's weird because this is just very strange. Also, there's unfortunately a fault with this because there's a bump on the corner of that thing there. There's a bump up there. Now I don't know whether that's been a fault from the pressing plant or whether that's been on the permanent reasons. It looks like it doesn't fit on the plate properly, which is unusual. But it's got a lot of things with that one, so you have got a chance to get that one. Get that one because it's good replica. It's good replica cut on that as well. Yeah, it's very interesting indeed.
Very much like the original.
So that's a 1998 reissue of Jazz, which is sweet indeed. And barcode on there, obviously you didn't get to see the barcode, but there it is again. The barcode's there and the numbers there as well. EMA 768.
More glossier.
It's more glossier. So it's like a matte finish on it, isn't it? It's like a matte finish. By the way, that's not embossed, by the way. It's printed on there. I'm afraid for that one. So that's a reissue of Jazz with that inner sleeve on it as well. Interesting, that one. Interesting indeed. Keeping the authenticity of this in as well, which is good. Nice. Now we come up to something really special, unique. And then I have to say, Mark is in a little bit of a gold mine on this one. Last night, gosh, I was life when I told him how much it was. which is worth quite a lot of money. This is now, I have to say, in my own opinion, we've played my version. 3 versions we've played already. We've got 4 versions of this now. Mark's got 2 versions of this one. I've got 2 versions of this one. I've still got the version, I'm keeping that one, by the way, which is interesting. Last night what we did was we sampled all 4 vinyls together. We found it was different. And this is what I have to tell you is this version here is the rarest of the lot. It's Live Killers. It is Live Killers. Before I go into deal about this, by the way, just what I warn you guys, this is the very first pressing that ever came out from the plant. This is the very first ever pressing that came out from the plant. This is not a reprint. This is not a reissue. The sound quality is the rarest sound quality that I've ever heard. It's different. It's a lot different than the 86 reissue of it. This is the, yeah, it's amazing the sleeves are the same. The valves are so very unusual on this. It's a heavier, more master on this one. Now, I'll quickly say from my point of view, I heard this last night and I can't believe that this sounded was amazing on it, amazing. The vinyl side is so nice. It just seems more original and authentic and nice to have. And but what we get into in detail is in the sleeves on this one. Now you may see the square ones I've shown you before, but now you get to see the rounded ones. Now these are very, 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 very interesting indeed. What we've got original stuff from this vinyl, which is so unique. What you have, and then you've got the other one, which is red, which is that one. And so, what I'm about to show you is something really interesting. John Marino obviously produced this one. What I couldn't believe my eyes was this is so different than any other version I've ever seen. First of all, these vinyls are more thicker than before, because this is more darker, more oranger, and more rarer than ever. This is the first ever pressing that came up from the plants. After the time they came out, they were reissued in other formats on it, but this version is absolutely bloody brilliant. It's very heavy duty, and I think this was the time at EMI when they produced this one. It makes authenticity that it does sound more rarer and more goddamn brilliant indeed. It's awesome. Now, the axes are actually authentic on this one. It doesn't have any of the EMI new pressings on it either, because it's not been done from that side.
Sounds like
this
it's come
is
from
really
the
heavy.
master.
It looks like it's come from the master version of it, from the master tape of it, which is very, very, very nice on that one. When you get to the green one, it's the same, but more heavier, but more darker on this one. More of a darker label on that one, which you've probably seen in my video before. And then we get to the other side of it, and it's more darker on that side. With a rare sort of imitation of the logo printed on it. So, when I told Mark yesterday, his original version of Live Killers, he is now sitting on probably about nearly £1,000 for this. Yeah, this is no crap. £1,000 for this ultra first ever pressing, and it is such a nice little piece to have. So this is probably what I have to say in my whole cooking career. He's sitting on something that's absolutely well worth. You got it for.
I can buy a Kit Kat now.
For the price. A Kit Kat for the price. Seriously, you can. If anybody wants to check this out on Discogs, do check out some of the labels in this are different. They are, as I said, the colours are different on it, and it's more dark. And see, that's more oranger, and this is more thinner than it as well. This is, as I say, this is not a reissue. The original issues that came out were louder and more better. I heard this yesterday. There's a different version of the melody on this record. It is more different takes of it. It's got extra bits of Freddie Mercury's voice in it, and also extra bits of drumming and extra bits of fingers in it compared to the other versions that have come out. Bohemian Rhapsody on this is longer, and Spread Your Wings is longer, and Brighton Rock is seriously wherever they took Brighton Rock from this is not the mix they did. It's actually the authentic tape version without that fade on it. There's no fade on this at all that mixes into the track. So This one is the rarest one of the lot. It absolutely is amazing to have, and it's a really pleasure to go over this one as well. So this is Mark's most expensive collectability ever, this one, and Live Killers. So I have to say, you had a great job doing this one, and it is different, and it's a very rare pressing of it. It's really good. So that's it's quite worth a lot of money now for the collectability of it. Moving on to more Queen now, and now we're going to go on to the game album. This is one I don't have on vinyl at all, I'm afraid. No, I will be. I'll track this down soon anyway from certain sources. This is the standard edition that came out. I do love this album so much. I think it's one of the best songs of Queen did actually for the 80s. This is the gold, lovely mirrored version of it, which is sweet. And as I say, standard edition. It's very good indeed. I love this version. The sound quality is awesome. Played Rocket last night on the record player. Sounded bloody brilliant. Sounded so amazing. In fact, Max engineering it is brilliant indeed. All the 4 photos are obviously original. The original sleeve on it as well, the original thing. And has it got that thing on it? It does have that on there. See, it's got that. So it's just this one I ever had, and also quite information about it as well. And that printed by Queen Music Limited and EMI Publishing, and Except 80, Chris Little Thing Called Love 1979, which was written at the time it was done. Love the album so much. 2011 version was good. 2003 version was good. The 1994 version was bloody awful. But the Power Authenticity of the white edition of this one, I don't remember it being white and black for some reason. Unless I'm not mistaken, is this how they were done originally?
Yeah.
They were. Oh, they were. I'm thinking of not One Vision. That's what I'm thinking of. So yeah, it's the original EMI version of it, which is very nice indeed. It's got double sleeve in it as well. Same thing. This is the EMA 795 version. This has got the new chords in it now. But what I will tell you is on this is interesting. It says here, mastered by Alan Zentz, Los Angeles, California. I don't think you'll be able to see it on camera, but it does say it there. Oh, they can see it there. Mastered by Alan Zentz, Los Angeles, California. That's a very interesting thing. Now this is weird because George Marino at the time didn't do this. Somebody else did it. It's also on the same side as well, mastered by Alan Zentz, Los Angeles, California. Now this is weird because what it is this version. It says it's manufactured in the UK by EMI Records, but I have a funny feeling that the final's been produced by this guy Alan Zentz, who I don't know who he is. It's not a George Marino master for a start. It's also got a flower in it, which looks so bloody gay on it for some reason. It's got a flower. Yeah, little flower. Oh, let's just put a flower on it. It's Alan's trademark. Okay. Sound quality on this one is great. No problems at all with it. Standard edition, obviously, it's good. This one's really good at vinyl as best and stuff. So that's the Queen. That's the American vinyl pressing. Yeah, but it's American vinyl pressing though. And it's the UK sleeve on it. Alan Zentz's great flowery thing. Check it out. See what you think of it. Graham Gay album, good. Honestly. And it's another game version. Aha! And this is not the shiny version. This is just the standard version of it, which is kind of really unusual. I'm not sure if this is the standard edition. Oh, this is the American version actually, because it's got that. It's got the cut on it, which you can see there. This is the Electro version of it, which is the USA print. USA sounds are amazing in this. Really are really good indeed. Now this is all rare at its best because this has been used. But it's a shame that this is damaged a lot. This thing, it's a shame. But it's got on here 1980 as a sticker on the bottom, which is very unusual. 1980 there, yeah, interesting. But it's all been meshed and warped and things as well. It's also got the original fan club address on there for London, which is 46 Pembridge Road, where we're looking right now. But they were distributed by Warner Brothers at the time as well, which is really interesting. I'll say from my point of view, the picture of Freddie looks so dark in it. It looks weird. Looks like they've done a bit of thought with that.
It looks like he's been tanning.
It looks like he's been tan. Is that the original photograph that we've done? It probably is anyway. Now we get to the US edition. I always keep saying the US editions are brilliant. The sound quality is great. This is the. This is very, very interesting. The guys here again on this one. It's also got here manufactured by Alan Zentz, Los Angeles, California on it. He's a guy. What is this guy doing? There you are. It's there. Manufactured by Allen Tennessee, Los Angeles, California. So
Records in mint condition.
this is very weird. Records in mint condition, yeah. This has got a flower in it again, as usually on that one. The UK edition of it with his name on. The US edition of it with his name on. I wonder if they were distributing two vinyls at the same time in the USA. I wonder if they were importing the USA one to the UK and the UK to the US, or same side of vinyls to do. That doesn't make any sense at all. But Allen Sense will be an interesting guy to find on Discogs about that. But it's really a shame that the sleeve is damaged and wear of it. That's just a shame. But it's nice collectibility you want to find. So that's the US edition of that version. Our version was better. This version's nice and faded, but it's well worth for the collectibility issues of it. So Queen, play the game, and the sound quality on the US versions, I've always said they are 10 times better than our versions, because our versions are crap. US versions, fantastic. Moving on now to a vinyl that I I got slapped from Mark yesterday because I didn't get it. I should have got it, but it was sitting there, and I went, oh! Why don't I get it for? Why? This is one of the price tag ones again from the budgeted EMI label from '86. It is Flash Gordon. Yeah, the one that the soundtrack that people really kind of miss and hit and miss about it, but it's all right. For the vinyl edition of it, it's not bad. This is the standard edition of the vinyl edition of it, which is good. This is this for purpose of this one. I think this was produced in yellow, but I could be wrong on this one as well. This is the UK standard edition of it, which is really nice. Yeah, this is one of the records I do keep away from, but it's nice to have it for the capability of it, which is really nice indeed. This is the number is EMC 3351, which is the original EMI pushing on it. Nice to see the back side of it, which was from the time that EMI were blanking this bit out on their stupid CD, or pasting it with his legs on it. And I should have done that because they were hiding all this information. That's why. See, this is what we should have had on the CD. Oh, we should have all that information on. They couldn't, because they used it by Wide Music, and it was Starling Productions as well. There's often feeling Ringo Starr's involved in this thing. But this is a nice thing to have. So CD version, Germany CD version 2001 had this on. The 2011 version, taking the piss, seriously you were. You put your legs up to here and you put a black stuff on it. Thank you very much for pouring this. Just look at see me stop. You know, that's it really. But to have something on the vinyl is nice indeed, and it was $3.99, would you believe, from price tag. That was actually out of this world.
Out of this world, yeah.
EMI price tag out of this world. Now I've got a funny feeling in record shops, EMI was doing cheaper vinyls at that time. I do remember this actually. Now I think they had a stall somewhere in some of the record shops HMV had them in. And if you went in the shop, they had like the special Queen section on there where it had like Price Attack on it, which was half price vinyl at half price prices. They were still producing it at the same time. But that is really nice to have that. $3.99. I wish vinyls were like that now with these days, some of the expensive ones. So now the pressing of it. This one is from my point of view, oh, it's Nick W again. He's back. The man is back. Nick W. So he must have been doing these budgeted ones in a way. So Nick W is proprietor of this one. And also it's got a DD1, and it has also got nothing else on it really, because part 2 says Nick W on it. So I wonder if he was compressing these at the time of it with the release of it. So it's not the original release. This is a reissue that came out apparently, because I can tell because it's not glossy. It's scratchy, you know what I mean. So there is the Flash Gordon one at the price tag range, and if you see any more of these price tag ones, they are rare for collectibility issues. It doesn't go, but the only thing about it is it doesn't go a serial number on this one. There's not a serial number on that one. There's on this one. Flash Gordon, good. So now carrying on with another vinyl that comes up in a second, and you have seen the sleeve for this one. It is obviously Greatest Hits, but actually, this is the standard edition of it. This is a standard edition.
Yeah, standard edition.
It is standard edition.
But it's French, which we searched.
It's a standard edition, but it's French. So we'll put it this way. There's
No under pressure.
there's there's a little bit of a confusion with this thing, because if you see my version of Greatest Hits, mine is the authentic UK release. What you probably won't realise is, in here, we've got the vinyl edition from France, in here, right? We searched it yesterday, no trace of this at all. No trace at all. There's nothing about it. All I can tell you is this is the UK sleeve. Somebody, in their infinite wisdom, has replaced it with a Patty Marconi print, but it's not the Greatest Hits with Under Pressure on it. It's got, from what I understand, it's got that on, and then on the B side, it's got that on. Now, in the French versions of it, now I understand, I think Gary Taylor mentioned this as well, the French versions have got Under Pressure on it.
After Save Me.
After Save Me. Now, I'm looking on the vinyl right now, and After Save Me, it hasn't got it on here. Now, as you can tell, if you look very carefully at this thing here, it says, made in France by Pathé Marconi Limited. And this does not include Under Pressure on it. I'm looking at the vinyl in the matrix number, and there is a number in here, and this number does not actually, this number, we couldn't find it. It says it is, M6337048-2. Okay? That's on the B side. The A side of it has not got it on. Well, it has. It's M6337047-2. And it still hasn't got any indication where this is, because this is a very unusual print. If this was produced in France, where the hell, well, what the hell is this? This is a very unusual item, this is a very unusual item. So if you put those numbers into Discogs on this one, you won't find it. You try and Google it, you won't find it. You try imaging it on Google, you won't find it, because this is a mismatch thing, basically. This does not match this at all. Now, I have a funny feeling this is the UK sleeve. You can tell I use UK sleeve because of the way it's been cut. Yes, it has got the EMTC 30 on it as well. It has got EMTC 30 on the vinyl edition of it, as you can see. But from Mark's understanding, there is no trace of this at all. No, this is one of the most unusual records that he's ever had. There's no trace of this. So I'll give you the number again. It is. It's M6337047-2. If you trace it up on Google and do it, you will not find anything information about this one. This is one of the most rarest pieces of weird history ever. And Save Me is not on, and Save Me, After Save Me, Under Pressure isn't on here. I have a funny feeling this is a press from France that they've done as a promotion for it. From my point of view, it's unusual. So, this sleeve does not match. This inner sleeve does not match. This has been put in as it is on there. So this record is very unusual. We'll come back to this one in another video. If there's information about this, please let us know. But on the A side, it's supposed to have Under Pressure on it. This one does not. What is this? If you can trace this up, please let me know on next Queensville, and I'll tell you where it is. Right. All I'm going to say is that I have this already. Same issue I've got. Same thing. I'm not going to read so much about it. So we'll move on about that anyway. But this is the UK Greatest Hits one. Okay. So that's it. I'm not going to say about that one anyway. Moving on from that one anyway, because I've still read so many times on the show. Now we're coming on to one of, yeah, I'm coughing for this bit because I hate this album. I'm going to stick on this one. Yes, it is Hot Space. As people don't like this album, and Queen fans hate it. They do. This is the vinyl edition of it. This is the standard UK edition of it, which is nice. Got another one here. And the sleeve is black. And Andy Warhol thing on it as well, which is even interesting. And yes, vinyl edition of it as well, which is original. I don't think this has ever been reissued on any other versions I've seen. Sound quality in it is not bad, and this is done at a different platinum. Actually, it says numbers name on here. Noel produced this one, which is kind of weird. This is the UK edition of it. Yeah, it's Noel. Noel did this one, so George Marino was not involved in this one. Must have lost the copyright issues for it, something else anyway from it. So yeah, one of the albums that I have to say, 3 tracks stand out to me: Under Pressure, Lab from Labastille, and Action Stay. The rest of the album, I hate this album. I absolutely detest it. Now we'll go on to the US edition of Hot Space. Yeah, like I say, yeah, I might really hate. It's exactly the same cover I've just shown you before on that one, but this one's the Electra version of it. So this is the same front sleeve and the back sleeve with Electra on it, which is even interesting. Then you've got the same sleeve for the UK one he did, same one, and it's a bit different for the print of it, which is kind of really interesting. And it's there. This is the one of those one. This is the well, actually, this is very unusual. Well, this is not the US edition. This is the UK edition. Basically, what they've done is again another mismatched configuration again. Unfortunately, it's been given the US sleeve. The US, no, he hasn't actually. He's been given the US sleeve, the UK inner sleeve with the UK vinyl. You've been ripped off there, I'm afraid. This is exactly the same one I've just shown at the moment. Exactly the same one. It should have Warner Brothers on it. It doesn't. So that's what I've just known at the moment.
Manufactured in the UK.
He's got the Electra on it, but he's just now known at the minute that it's UK pressing. So unfortunately, someone's nicked the inner sleeve and that one. So unfortunately, that's shit. It's just going to go on the bin. So bin it. No point doing that one. Let's go to something else now. And now we're going to go on to a nice pressing of the Works album with a sticker on it. Yeah. This is the one I've seen before. Now, but this one, right, is a DMM version, which is a direct metal mastering version. Now, these are fucking brilliant.
Oh,
at the time that they came out, these ones, I'll tell you how this came out. DMM was digital metal mastering was done in Germany. It was right from the Warner Brothers plant in Germany. DMM was one of the best things that ever came out since sliced bread. These were great ones. These are amazing. It's like no scratches on it, and you put it to light, and you see little beams like coming through. The sound on this is incredible. The only thing about them is the vinyls get scratched a lot on the DDMs, a lot. They get ruined a lot on these ones. You get little scratches, little marks, it gets worse. What the EMI was doing at the time was doing a distribution deal at the time in the Germany ones, and this is produced by Teldec. Teldec was the Germany company for these who did these as well, which is part one of us. It was. This has got a sticker on it. It says, includes the hit singles, Radio Gaga, I Want to Break Free, It's a Hard Life, Hammer to Fall. Yep, the 4 people before that were big hits on this album. Interesting information about this, it says, manufactured and distributed exclusively, printed in Germany by GmbH. This is the German sleeve, German print. I have to say, this is amazing. The thing about this one is that the inner sleeve is more thing on it, which is really more matte-y sort of thing on it, which is cool. The other thing about it is we've got some of the print on this It's done in gold. We've got basically gold highlighted versions of this, which is really different indeed, and it's blurred, very blurred indeed. The Germany ones, I have to say, are my point of view, they're so amazing. So, what makes the DMM ones special? The DMM ones are just incredible. They are seriously brilliant sounding it. He's played this many times. He loves this one. Mark's pride and joy. He said DMM is the fucking dynamite. DMM finished. Actually, the DMM versions they finished in the late 1995s when DMM was going out of fashion because it was expensive. It cost a lot of money to produce these ones for the purposes of releasing vinyls at the time as well. But these DMM ones are seriously incredible. They are really good. The number on this, by the way, is LC064 2400141. I see the national number, by the way. It does actually confirm the fact that it is the same as the UK edition and the other one as well, because underneath there it has got the. It used to have the Works One underneath that one. On this one, it doesn't have the Works One on it because it's just a basic standard version on that, which is one thing of it as well. He's very proud to have a Germany version of this one, which is nice for accessibility. It's beautiful sound on that. So if you ever get a chance to get DMM versions in a record fair, get them because they're well worth a lot of money. So it's Works DMM version, very good.